Hey Ryan, it's Chris from the Brewer Golf Academy. Again, hope you guys are doing well. Got your email forwarded to me from Wanda. Again, I'm not 100% sure as to what happened with the original videos I sent you. Again, I apologize. Just wanted to re-forward you your swings here, because again, I want you always to have those good visuals. What I did also is filmed up a couple of the drills that I wanted you guys to focus on that we went over in the session. That way you guys have some good stuff to work on here. So what I'm going to do here for you is just play your swing a couple times in slow motion so you can kind of see what's going on here. I know a big thing we talked about with you is a big focus on path and trying to keep the lower body to feel like it was staying a lot more stable through the shot. If I get you up to the top here, and then as you start it down, we can really see that your body really wants to lunge backwards there. That has a lot to do with the body starting to really slide forward, as opposed to just letting your hips unwind more coming through. So again, you see that nice reverse pivot we see there, and that was creating a lot of inconsistencies, especially when we went on the golf course with that driver. We were seeing it kind of all over the place, of going left, going right, hands taking over, and then getting flippy. So big thing of trying to get the sensation for is, first off, let me show you this angle here, of really getting that sensation of, you can really tell starting down coming into the ball, a lot of lower body movement, and then the body really wants to hang back. So a great little drill that I want you to focus on if you get a chance to practice this is, I'm going to split this view here so you can see. So what I want you to do is notice here, this is actually myself filming up and myself doing the drill. What I've done is actually taken a basketball and I've stuck it in between my legs. You could put a stick down or something like that just to give you, if you notice I got this stick down here on the ground. That's just helping me with my alignment there. But a big feeling is, what I want you to notice is, once the club gets up to the top here for you, once I start down, the sensation we're going to try and feel is from this point here, is, notice what I'm doing there, as we call it laying the egg, is the sensation is when I get to this point here, my weight is shifting onto my toes on my left foot here. It's really getting that sensation of all of my weight starting to bump forward. Now when I'm doing this drill, the sense that I'm trying to feel is, I'm getting the club up to the top here and I'm pretty much stopping. Then to really feel that, it's almost going to be very mechanical in the sense that I get the club up to the top, then from there I'm going to let the ball drop to get that sensation, feeling that pressure on my front foot, then from that point feeling very level with my hips as I move through. You can see where this forces my energy to go is to stay on that front side. You notice here as you're coming through into the ball, you can see the difference there with how much this is hanging back. So this is going to be a great drill for you to do, and then after a while you could be much more fluid with it. So to help set up for it, what I want you to do is just take something like a basketball, stick it right in there between your knees there to hold that position. Again, what that's doing is stabilizing the lower body here, and then from there really getting the sense of good coil in the backswing. As you start that downswing, really feeling the sense like that ball's going to drop coming through, which is getting that weight to feel much more on that front side. And then from there really getting the sense of now letting everything unwind level through, feeling that most of my weight is going to be right there on my front side as opposed to just hanging back. Again, it's the hips and the shoulders here are moving much more level, as opposed to, you look here on the left as to how much your weight here is actually still on this side. It's really feeling as you're turning through nice and level. So then after a while of working on this drill, what you can get to the point of is just making those fluid motions where you get the ball to the top, and then from there letting that ball drop through, and then finishing with pretty much all that momentum there on that front side. In the beginning, to really get this sense, it'd be really good to practice hitting a lot of punch shots and three-quarter swings just to get this sensation. And if you keep working on that, you're going to be in really good shape here. So now what I want you to do is actually show you your brother's motion and everything. So big thing we were trying to focus on with Chris is to get the sensation of really getting the feeling that you can see here that as he gets club up to the top, we could see a big overswing there with the arms. So really not only turning the shoulders, but a big extension with the hands and the arms as he goes back. And then from there, body really going backwards, and then a little flippy with the hands. So big thing to get him in the sensation of, is to get Chris the feeling, is fill myself up doing another drill here. This is, I know I had him doing this in the lesson, this is the feet together drill. What this is doing is completely minimizing the amount of movement his lower body has, and now it's going to create a lot of coil for him to feel more in the shoulders, actually focusing more on the shoulders as opposed to the hands there. But you can see the difference there as far as what his lower body looks like compared to mine, of keeping literally from the hips down, that I'm feeling like I'm going to be cemented to the ground there. And then from there, it's keeping the lower body nice and quiet and just letting the hands release on through. To really get the sensation, so you can see here he does a great job coming through of getting that weight more on that front side, but a little bit of a defensive move because of that overswing and going back. So he kind of loses the shoulder turn at about this point here, and the arms just keep going. So another good feeling is to help with this drill also is what I'm doing here is, if you notice, I'm placing a ball roughly about 6 to 8 inches straight back behind where that original golf ball is. The sense in the beginning, just to get this feeling, is to just pop this ball on a tee a little bit, just like we're teeing up an iron, just to get the sense of the proper motion with this. But really getting the feeling of, as I start off, lower body here is staying nice and quiet. Then from that point there, what I'm going to do is to engage my shoulders more. I have to actually keep the club lower, which gets my shoulders working sooner, so I could push that ball going back. That initiates my swing with my shoulder as opposed to initiating with my hands. But really getting that sensation there of pushing that ball back is going to let my shoulders wind up more, creating much more of a shoulder swing as opposed to an arm swing. And you can definitely see the difference there with his backswing here on the left compared to mine here on the right. Much more of a wind with my shoulders as opposed to my arms and hands breaking down. But that's all initiated with the beginning of the swing, of getting the sensation that the shoulders are starting the motion as opposed to the arms and the hands doing it. But that's going to be a great drill for him to focus on there, of getting that sensation of not necessarily initiating it with the hands, but feeling like the shoulders are rocking back. This is also going to cause, when I put this ball about 6 to 7 inches behind there, it's causing me to keep the club lower to the ground, which engages my shoulders right off the bat. But that's going to be a really good sensation for him to focus on, is to not only have the lower body nice and stable here, but letting the club feel like it's dragging as it goes back, causing him to get his shoulders more engaged with the swing. There's your dad's swing here. This was going to be a big one as far as the drill that I want him to focus on, because right off the bat, posture-wise, everything looks great, but you could see here as he starts down, very much of an over-the-top motion there. So with that, see, now the body has to go into defense mode when it comes down, because here, if I split this view, just to give you an idea, showing you one of my model swings here, you could see the difference with Charles Howell here on the right. Again, fundamentally one of the best swings on tour. Posture-wise, everything looks good there. Now as we get the club up to the top, what I want you to notice here is where the club starts coming down in relation to his head. So you can see at this point here, club's coming right through to the neck. Now starting here with Charles's swing, you could see at this point here, the club is actually bisecting right through his right bicep this way, as opposed to right here, it's going through the neck. So the big sensation is now, since the club has come so much over the top, pretty much chopping wood down on it, the body's got to completely back out of it to still make good contact with it. To really help enforce this feeling of trying to get the club to feel more shallow, this is going to be a great drill to focus on. This is what I call the split foot drill. So notice here what I've done is I've actually taken a stick. On the right side of the stick, my right foot is actually on the back side, and then with my toes, and then my heel of my left foot is on the opposite end there of the stick. So again, good visual there for you guys to see. What this is actually going to do is when I stand with my feet so much shut this way, it forces the path of the club to exit actually more out to the right, causing my hands to release. And what I mean by that is that looking here on the left, you can see as the path comes down, coming right there through the head. Now this drill, just feeling a little half swing back here, granted I take it way past that point, you can see as I start down, the difference as to where my club comes in relation to my right arm there. That's what this drill is definitely going to reinforce, is to get that sensation of the club coming from more behind and swinging out, as opposed to before, where you could look here on the left, the club swings this way and then goes straight across this way coming through. And a big exit to the left, as opposed to getting the sensation that the club is actually going to be swinging more out to the right and releasing properly. But this drill is really going to enforce getting that sensation, and especially for these drills, guys, is to get the sensation that I'm talking about. The more deliberate and the more little half swings you guys can do at this, the more your body's going to learn about the changes and actually react sooner to the differences there. So your body's going to adapt a lot better to this just by getting these sensations down. But keep focusing on these drills. If you guys have any questions about anything, please feel free to email me. I'm always here to help.